Happy Wednesday, boys and girls. Hope you guys are having a great week and had a good, long 3-day weekend. Welcome to science. I'm excited to teach you guys. I hope you're excited to learn. Now, I hope you are really making your observation skills put to good use. Think about what's around us right now during spring. We've got more insects out and about, different flowers are blooming. The sun is rising earlier, right? Remember, daytime, nighttime. We have different types of weather going on. It's getting a little bit warmer and warmer in the temperatures. There's a lot of different things going on around us, and it's important for you as young scientists to take time and use your observation skills, okay? So please do that this week. Use your observation skills and point things out to mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, or brother or sister, okay? All right, be young scientists. Okay, last week we talked about organisms, how it's any living thing, and you chose an organism and described how it uses its body parts in different ways. I was really happy to see how some of you went above and beyond and really added lots of details in your writing, or even drew an illustration to go along with your writing. That is 5Q work. That is quality first grade work that we are looking for. Keep it up. So this week with organisms, we are going to talk about baby animals. Oh, they're so cute. Now another word for baby is young. So as young scientists, we are going to use the word young, not baby, but they mean the same thing. And a couple of vocabulary words I really want you to focus on are life cycle. What's the word? Life cycle. Good. Life cycle means the growth and changes a living thing goes through. So you are an organism, you are a living thing. Now think about when you were a newborn, just born. Do you look the same as you do now? No, because you are going through a life cycle. You are growing and changing. You can also think of a chicken. Chickens grow and change. They're going through a life cycle. Or think of the life cycle of frogs. They do not look like tadpoles, right? They grow and they change. That is their life cycle. The next vocabulary word for this week, mammal. What's the word? Mammal. Good. And a mammal means an animal that feeds milk to its young, and it's mostly covered in hair and fur. So think of some mammals right now. You can see some on my poster. Elephants, giraffes, deer, cheetahs. We've got tigers. Those are mammals. I'm also thinking of bears. But I could mean a panda bear, a polar bear, a grizzly bear, a black bear. Those are all mammals, okay? Can you think of another mammal? Have fun with mammals this week. Look them up, right? Now our last vocabulary word for this week is physical traits. What is it? Physical traits. Say it to the window. Physical traits. Say it to your pinky. Physical traits. Say it to the ceiling. Physical traits. What's the word? Physical traits. Good. Now this is important to learn. Physical traits of animals, of organisms. And what that means is how a person or an animal, how they look. So when you think of a tree, you're looking at it. Those are the physical traits. When you are thinking of an elephant, and you think of an elephant in your mind, what you see is the physical traits of an elephant. Think of a tiger. What we see are the physical traits of a tiger. Color, size, fur, hair, scales, all right? Those are the physical traits. So now that we know what physical traits means, remember, it's just like what you see, how the animals look. Let's move on to our target for this week, okay? And I'll give you a second, have an adult read it to you, have a sibling read it to you, you read it to yourself, but this is what we want to get out of this week's lesson. Okay, so the target for this week is I will be able to describe, give me details, the physical trait similarities and differences between adult animals and their young. Whoa, that's a mouthful. Let's break it down. So you're going to be able to describe, like identify and tell me the physical trait similarities. So how they are the same, how they look, and that is similar between the adults and the young. So the parents and the babies, how they look the same, and also differences, how they look differently, okay? Maybe there's only one or two differences, it won't be a lot, but we really gotta focus on how the physical traits are the same between the adults and their young, all right? I think we've got it. So I wanted to give you a couple examples of similarities and differences between adult animals and young animals before you go off and running onto your assignment, okay? So I have with me this book called The Wonder of Baby Animals. But we scientists are not going to say baby. We're going to say young animals. Good. So it's full of great photographs. And here you can see a young prairie dog and an adult prairie dog. Now, what do you see that is the same? What are their similarities? Same fur color, same fur, eyes, tail, ears, right? Almost every physical trait is the same. The only difference I can see is size. They're different sizes. Now, looking at this animal, I bet you could tell me what it is before I say it. This animal is a fox. Good. It's actually a red fox. Okay? But this is the young, and they look very similar to what the adult fox would look like. Yeah, good job. I bet you right away knew what animal this is. It is a koala. It is a joey. It is a young koala bear. By looking at its physical traits, nose, fluffy ears, right? Its fur. It looks exactly like the adult koala bear. And we also have the adult panda bear with its giant panda cub. Again, there are a lot of physical traits that are the same. Look at the fur color, the fact that they have fur. Look at their paws, their ears. There are a lot of similarities. Again, the only difference I can see is size. Now, looking at these two animals, I'm sure you can guess what they are. We have a seal and a sea turtle. They have a lot of physical trait similarities to their adults. And over here, though, we have emperor penguins. Now, looking at its young, you can see there are a lot of physical trait differences. You still know it's a penguin, but there are physical trait differences. The young has fur. Do penguins have fur? And if you look at the adult, again, size is a difference, but look at the coloring as well. So there are a lot of physical trait differences and some similarities between penguins. So now let's revisit our target for this week. Like, what are you supposed to learn in science for this week? So it says, I will be able to describe, give me details, the physical trait similarities and differences between adult animals and their young. So how the adult looks and how the young looks, how are they the same and how are they not the same, different? That is going to be your job for this week. So again, this week, you will be assigned an epic collection, and you can choose out of about 10 books what organism you would like to learn more about. You could also use books that you have around your house or go on National Geographic for kids. But you need to choose one organism where you will be able to compare the physical traits of the adult and the young, okay? Once you've done that, you can either print the template that's on your Seesaw journal from your teacher or make your own, and you need to tell me what organism you've chosen. So adult sea turtle, adult tiger, adult lion, and young blah, 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 they're the same. Then you don't need to give me complete sentences this week because you are using your observation skills, right? You're observing and you're going to be taking notes. That's what scientists do sometimes. They just take notes. but you need to make sure that your notes are very detailed, okay? Okay, so you're going to give me notes on how the physical traits are similar, how they're the same between the adult and the young here, and how they are different, physical traits that are different. Now, for most of our animals, the physical trait differences would just really be size, but if we're thinking about the penguins, there are a lot more differences than just size. So you're going to take notes this time, but please be detailed. Don't just tell me color, tell me what types of colors. It could be also hair or fur or claws or paws, or if they have the mask, like think of raccoons, okay? So please be detailed in your observations for the similarities and differences. Well, have a great week, boys and girls. Be curious, kids. Ask lots of questions. Come up with some I wonders and use those observation skills, okay? One fun fact before you go. When a giraffe is born, it is already the same size as an adult man. When they're born, they're already about 6 feet tall. Science is fantastic. Have a great week. Miss you guys lots.